Whenever you're ready, make your way back to hands and knees. Step your right foot forward, however you need to get it there. Straighten your back leg, reach through the back heel, and then really push through the front foot to lift yourself up. Come into your high lunge for a moment. Good. And just pause here. Hands at your hips. Hug your elbows behind your back. Lift your chest and just take a breath. Feel your feet underneath of you. Feel your strong legs. Feel your breath as it comes and goes. Good. You can stay here with your hands on your hips, or you can interlace your hands behind your back. Hug your elbows in, reach through the knuckles, and lift the chest just a little bit more. Good. Inhale here. Exhale, bring your torso forward and just kind of hover over top of that front knee. So you're not landing on it, on the front thigh, you're hovering. Good. Reach your arms out by your ears so they're facing forward. Inhale, and then exhale, bring your hands down to the floor. Step back, plank. Beautiful. Bring your knees to the floor for this one. Inhale here. And then exhale, just bend your elbows straight back. Slowly, slowly lower yourself in one piece all the way to the floor splat. Beautiful. Hug your elbows in, point your toes, reach your tailbone toward your heels. And then just pull your chest forward and lift up into a little bitty cobra. Good, take a breath here. Good, exhale, come on down. Straighten your arms out by your sides. Let your shoulders drop down to the floor. Just take a breath. Beautiful. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Lift yourself up to hands and knees. And come back into downward facing dog for a breath or two. Good. When you're ready, lift your right leg straight up behind you. Inhale. Exhale, plant that foot between your hands. Good. Take a moment here, reach through the back heel, reach your chest forward, and when you're ready, press through the front foot to lift yourself all the way up. Come into your high lunge. Good. Hands come to hips first. Hug your elbows, lift your chest, lean back, and just breathe and feel the body in the pose. Good. Make any little adjustments you need to make to bring the pose into more harmony. So we're using not just the legs, but the core is engaged. We're aligned so that it's not so much work. Good. And then interlace your hands behind the back. Do it the unusual way. Reach through the knuckles, lift the chest. Inhale. And then with an exhale, you're going to come forward and just kind of hover over that front knee. Good. Bring your hands down. Step back into down dog. Did we do the same side twice? Okay. Good information. Take a breath. Float your left leg up. Exhale, pull your knee in toward your nose and plant the foot between the hands. We'll just pretend I did that on purpose, okay? Now we have to do this side twice. Pop up onto your fingertips, reach your heart forward, take a breath, and then press through the front foot, lift yourself up to your, oh yeah, this feels more balanced. Lift yourself up to your high lunge. Good, take a breath, hug your elbows in, lift your chest. And then interlace your hands behind your back. Take an extra breath here. Really reach through the back heel. You know what's coming next. So just fold forward, hover over your front knee. Take an extra breath here. This is like a modified warrior 3 pose. Good. And then bring your hands down to the floor. Step back. Bring your knees down and child's pose. Couple breaths. Whenever I make you do the same side twice, you get a bonus child's pose. New rule. 3 big breaths. Good. Come up to hands and knees. Come into downward facing dog, just as a transition, and step your left foot forward. Again. Good. Inhale, lift yourself up. Come into your high lunge. This time reach your arms up by your ears, spread through your fingers, shine out in all directions. Good. Take a big breath in. And then with an exhale, come forward, hover over that front thigh. Know that you can stay here or lift up into a warrior 3 position. Conveniently, my fingertips reach my wall, which is kind of nice. Good. And then slow and steady, bend the front knee, bring the back foot back to the floor, reach your arms. Exhale, hands come to the floor. Step back into your plank. And then into your down dog. Take a breath or two. Really lift the hips up and back. Good. Inhale, right leg floats. Exhale, foot plants between the hands. Inhale, press through the foot. Lift on up. Reach the arms, spread the fingers, lift the chest. Take an extra in-breath. Exhale, come to just hover over that front thigh. Know you can stay here or tip forward and lift your back leg. Come into a balance. Warrior 3, Virabhadrasana 3. And then 1 big breath. Exhale, slow and steady. Come back up into your high lunge. Inhale here. Exhale, hands come down. Step back to down dog. And child's pose. 3 big breaths. Sorry about the barking dogs. I'll just pretend that's not happening. The thing about practicing at home is that sometimes those distractions are things that it's like training to ignore the things that aren't serving you. Take a couple more breaths. And just focus on what we're doing right here, right now. Good. Whenever you're ready, bring your hands to the floor. And I want you to just kind of slither your chest forward, 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 until you come to lay on your bellies. Good. From here, reach your hands forward in front of you. So your pinkies are down toward the floor, and your fingers are spreading wide. Good. And just lift your right arm up a couple inches, and then put it down. Good. Reach your left arm up a couple inches and put it down. Good. Lift your right leg up a couple inches and put it down. Lift your left leg up a couple inches and put it down. Good. Lift both hands up and put them down. Lift both legs up and put them down. Good. Take an extra breath here, forehead down to the mat. And we'll go through that whole little sequence again. So lift your head, but keep the back of the neck long so your nose is pointed down toward the floor. And then lift your right arm up a couple inches and put it down. Keep your legs active the whole time. Left arm lifts and put it down. It really doesn't matter what order, so if you did what I said, that's fine. One leg lifts, either one. Good, put it down. Other leg lifts. Notice, can you lift the leg without pushing through the other foot? And then put that down. Good, both arms lift. And put it down. Both legs lift. And put them down. Then everything lifts. Both arms, both legs, just a couple inches. Big deep breath. And then exhale. Put it down, forehead to the mat. Take a couple breaths. Very nice. Whenever you're ready, make your way back up to hands and knees. Good. Step your right foot behind you. Reach through the back heel. Good. Spin your back heel down and spin your left heel back behind you. So it's kind of like your left leg is going to be your kick stop, and reach your right arm up. So we've got our modified side plank pose or Vashisthasana going. Okay, turn your top palm to face toward your head and reach your arm up and overhead. Just take a big, easy, gentle side stretch. Good. Reach the top hand again. Come back to hands and knees. And we'll just switch and do the other side. So left leg reaches. Spin your back heel down. Kick your right heel back and reach your left arm up. Good. Palm faces the wall in front of you and reach up and overhead. Big stretch through the side body. Take a big deep breath. Lift those side ribs up. It's okay if your body kind of takes the shape of a rainbow a little bit. Nice. And come back to hands and knees. We're going to add on just a little bit. So you guys know, if at any point we go into a position and you're like, that's enough for me, you can just stay there. Otherwise, just keep going, see what happens. Right foot comes back. Spin your heel down. Kick that back foot back. Reach your right arm. Good. This is step one. Step two is you may bring your top hand to your hip and see if you can lift your hips up, straighten your bottom leg, and just kind of stack one on top of the other. So come into a straight-legged Vashisthasana. Okay, and then just breathe here. Reach your top arm up. Balance for a moment. Really lift those hips higher. Good. And then you'll just come to a plank. Both hands down. Bring your knees down. Do a little wiggle. I like to hum when I wiggle. Have you noticed that? All right. Left leg comes back. We'll try the other side. Spin the heel down. Reach your left arm up. You can kick this back foot. Is this like your middle foot in this position? Kick the middle heel back. Good. No, you can stay here and play with this, or bring your top hand to your top hip. Really press through that back foot to lift your hips a little bit, and then stack your feet on top of each other. Good. And just breathe here. Lift your hips as high as you can. Press through that front hand, and notice your shoulder is not right over top of your wrist. It's back a little bit, and it comes back even more if you press more. Take another breath, and then come back to hands and knees. Do a little wiggle, maybe hum a little bit. Good, and then come to a child's pose. Take a couple more breaths. Settle in. Notice how you feel in your body right now. Good, whenever you're ready, come back up to hands and knees. Step your right foot behind you. Spin your right heel down, reach your right arm up. So we're going to go through this again. You have the option to add on one more piece. So maybe you stay here. Maybe you come into the version with the straight legs. Good. Maybe you stay here, or maybe you play with taking that top arm up and kind of bringing the hand, tucking it underneath you so it's like a little twisty, and then lifting it back up. One of my teachers that I like says it's like a monkey tail, going under and then reaching again. P.S. You can do this with the bottom knee down too. Under and up. Good, one more. And then reach your top arm up and over and come back to hands and knees. Do a little wiggle. Hum to yourself if it makes you happy. Good. And we have one other side. So left leg back. Spin your heel down. Left arm up. Good. You can stay here, or you can play with straightening the bottom leg. Good. You can stay here, or you can add the monkey tail, which is kind of hard for balance when you have your legs straight. So I'm going to do it a couple times like this with the legs straight. And then I'm going to bend my bottom knee because I like to. Any amount of the pose is still the pose. I have another teacher that says that a lot, and I like it. Whenever you're ready, come back to hands and knees. Do a little wiggle. In child's pose. 3 to 5 big breaths. A well-deserved child's pose. Forehead to the mat. Feel your shoulders melt down into the floor. Full, deep, slow, steady breaths.